Hello and welcome to another weekly Outlook video. As usual, we're going to start with DXY. So today I'm not going to take much of your time because the kind of price action that we have at the moment, we actually anticipated it in one of the weekly Outlook videos that we did. So I will pin it up here. So if this is your first time watching my weekly Outlook videos, kindly go watch it because I go into deep details and give you reasons as to why actually we have the kind of price action we have at the moment and why we are bullish on dollar. So we're going to start with DXY, the monthly time frame. So we have 5 days left before we close the month of November. And as you can see, so all this was just a retracement. This was just as usual. We opened from the low, so already we are done forming the low. There's a high probability that you're going to close this month as a bullish month. So if you're going to close this month as a bullish month, we expect one more expansion. So this week I expect more bullish expansion. And I'm looking at this 3 months order block as a target that the market could get to. And of course, we have this monthly fair value gap and we have this buy side liquidity here. So, but I go into deep details explaining the yearly TGIF and all that in the video that I've just talked about. So, if you look at the weekly price tag, this weekly fair value gap, and this is what we have. So, of course, you expect more bullish expansion, 3 months order block, and this buy side, this flat candle here is a good place that the market could go for. This buy side liquidity I'm watching. I'm watching that. And of course, now on the weekly, we just now have an order block formed. So this is what we have. So let's look at the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, we have this daily fair value gap. Our weekly order block is here. We have also inverted this fair value gap here. So this up to here, this makes this balanced price range. So this red is a balanced price range. This blue is our fair value gap. Our weekly order block is here. So for us to continue with the bullish move, so as you can see, price already tagged this balanced price range on Friday. So either we use this, we just open the week Monday and we use it to push price higher, or we get a deeper retracement to this weekly order block and also target this part of a fair value gap before we continue with the bullish move. But generally, our bias this week is bullish. As you can see, price did not violate this weekly fair value gap. This weekly fair value gap was our key level. If this weekly fair value gap would have been violated, then we could be thinking of bearish DXY. I'm not even looking at any scenario of how you're going to have a bearish DXY. Unless, of course, now we have fundamental but technical analysis, we should be bullish for DXY. So let's look at USDCHF and we'll start with the monthly time frame. So if you look at the monthly time frame, this is what we have. So this high is the previous 3 month high, and this is an order block. This is a 3 months fair value gap, and this is 30% of the yearly candle range. So again, I'll pin that video. You'll understand what I'm talking about because I go into deep details explaining what you're looking at and why we expect the kind of price action that we want to see this week. So let's look at the weekly. On the weekly, we have this weekly order block. That's what we have. So let's look at the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, we have this daily fair value gap, which again was tagged by price on Friday, and we have also inverted this fair value gap here. So prices tagged this on Friday. So either we open the week and we just rally, we have a rally up Monday, or we have a retracement back to this fair value gap, and also in the process tagging this weekly order block before we continue with the bullish move. So let's look at EURUSD. So EURUSD, you can see this is the monthly time frame. This is our previous 3 month low, and this is our 3 month fair value gap. Again, if you want to understand this, just go back, watch that video. That's all I can say. So we are bearish. So we have enough range to trade for Euro USD and USD CHF. You can see Euro USD and USD CHF price has not yet gotten to our target, which is the previous 3 month low for Euro USD and previous 3 month high for USD CHF. And of course, also the 3 months fair value gap. So if you look at the weekly time frame, you can see we have this weekly order block here. So let's move to the daily time frame. So on the daily, we have this daily fair value gap, which again was tagged on Friday by price. So can you see how similar this is to USDCHF with also DXY? This is how major pairs move. So we now, but of course now the opposite. Euro USD and DXY are negatively correlated. So you can see DXY is bullish, Euro USD of course is bearish. So either we have a retracement, tag this weekly order block, and also back here, price can do that. Tag, we sweep this high, tag this, then we continue going lower, or we open the week because already price tagged this on Friday, we just rally lower. So that is what I'm looking at. So GBP USD and Euro USD are positively correlated. So that is your homework. Just go do the analysis for GBP USD. So let's look at the yen basket. We'll start with the weekly time frame. So yen basket, we have an order block here, and we have a fair value gap right here. So we were looking at this sell side liquidity, wanted to see price get to this sell side liquidity, and you can see finally price tagged that. Now we have this fair value gap here, so I'm watching this. There's a possibility of having a retracement to tag this before we continue with the bearish move, because remember for yen basket we've been bearish. So if you look at yen basket and also most JPY pairs, it's still an inside year candle. We have not taken out the previous year high, and we've not taken out the previous year low. So that video that I keep referring to you guys, go watch. I explain all this. So on the daily time frame, you can see we have a daily order block here, and this is the kind of price action we had on Thursday. This is more of a rejection, and then Friday was a bullish candle, and we inverted this. So two things are likely to happen. Either we have a retracement to this order block, then continue with the bearish move, or we get the retracement all the way to this weekly fair value gap, which is what I have my eyes on. And I'm sure by now you've noticed most of the time when we're having retracement to weekly key levels, you might even find the retracement takes a full week. So you get a full week of that retracement. So let's look at GBP JPY. So GBP JPY and yen basket are negatively correlated. So we're going to start with the monthly, and on the monthly, you can see this is the previous year high, and just a few pips left before price finally gets to it. And I'm watching this as the final target for price for the year. So let's look at the weekly time frame. On the weekly, we have this order block left behind by price. So, and a tiny fair value gap here, very, very tiny fair value gap. So on the weekly, so either we have a retracement, tag this weekly order block, or fair value gap before we continue with the bullish move. So let's look at the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, you can see we have this daily order block. That's all I see. And of course, this tiny fair value gap, which has been okay, not inverted yet, but yeah, I see this. Most likely we might might invert it. If we invert this, then there's a high probability we are going for either this daily order block, or we are going for the weekly key levels. The same thing with yen basket. You could see yen basket, we had the weekly fair value gap, and you also had a daily key level. So price will use one of the two as support to push price higher. So let's look at gold. For gold, you can see it's still an inside month. We did not take out previous month high, and we have not yet taken out previous month low. And we have 5 days left before we close this monthly candle. Price will go for either one, or we just close the month as an inside month. So on the weekly time frame, you can see we have this volume imbalance, which price tagged 2 weeks now. 2 weeks we have tagged this, and price has not violated it. So this is a key region. This is a key region. If by any chance we violate it, then that is a good reason to go bullish. But as of now, as long as you are below here, I'm looking for bearish gold. So on the daily time frame, I can see price is stuck. We are stuck inside this daily fair value gap, and you can see price stuck this daily fair value gap on Wednesday, and then there's one we had on Thursday and Friday. So as long as price does not violate this, then for me there's a high probability of a bearish gold. However, if we invert this, then there's a high probability of getting a bullish price action. So let's look at NAS 100. Starting with the monthly time frame, you can see we had a tiny fair value gap here, which has already been tagged by price, and you can see also price has taken out previous month low. So on the weekly time frame, we have this an order block on these consecutive bullish candles. The moment we closed below this low with this candle here, this already is an order block. So I'm watching this. So you can see where we have the weekly order block, we also have this daily order block. So price can use that to push price lower. But once more, let's go back to the weekly. So on the weekly, we can see price has inverted this fair value gap here. So still also there's a possibility we can have a retracement to tag this inversion fair value gap. So before either we continue with the bearish or we now have a bullish move, because remember NAS 100 it has been at all-time highs, so us getting bullish moves will not really come as a shocker. So that's all I'd prepared for this weekly outlook video. If you enjoyed these videos, kindly give it a thumbs up, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, kindly do so. I'll see you in the next one.